Hi everyone, it's Dr. Jen at Optimal Spine Chiropractic with this evening's workshop about sleep. I'm sure you know that sleep is essential for a happy, healthy, productive life. But a lot of us are not getting the best quality sleep that we could be getting, and there's a tendency to underestimate the problems that could cause. Even just little lapses or a little decrease in the quality or the quantity of sleep that you're getting can take a toll as it adds up over time. So I want you to imagine an overtired toddler. If you have ever witnessed a cranky, overtired toddler having a flat-out meltdown, what's happening there is a tired brain is a stressed brain, and that stressed brain will be more reactive, more emotional, more fight or flight driven. The stressed brain is not in its most thoughtful state. It's not in its most, higher thinking centers. That's not happening at that point. And you and I have learned to control and not throw ourselves on the floor and have a meltdown. But kind of the same thing is happening in our brains when we are overtired and we are hit with a stimulus, a stressor. We're more reactive, we're not thinking clearly, we're not going to be doing our best problem solving or being our most patient selves when we're like that. So we know that slightly less than optimal sleep can affect the brain and the way it functions, and that's going to have a huge impact on your body and your life. Studies show that students who have less than optimal sleep will absolutely get poorer grades. There was a study that was published in the journal Lancet that followed physicians who were not getting good sleep, working too much at the hospital or what have you. And they found that those physicians, when they were to complete a task, they took 14% longer to complete the task and were making 20% more errors when they were sleep deprived as they would have been able to complete the same procedure if they had good sleep. So, if you are skimping on sleep to get work done or be more productive, obviously the evidence is that we are going to be making more mistakes and taking longer to do the things that we think we are skimping on sleep to be able to get done. And I definitely don't want my doctors to be sleep deprived, nor your chiropractors. So during sleep, your brain is sorting information, processing it, things that you've experienced through the day, things that you've learned through the day. You're building and storing memories. Just like your immune system builds a memory of things that it has come in contact with during the day, during sleep, you're building your immune defenses, but the brain is building and storing memories. What your brain is also doing at night while you're sleeping is cleaning itself. Your brain will clear waste at 10 times the rate during sleep that it does when you're awake. So a good night's sleep absolutely is critical for the healthy function of the brain. And my question is whether or not disorders such as dementia or just age-related mental decline could have something to do with lack of quality sleep being inhibiting the brain from cleaning itself properly every night. There was so all of these things, we're talking about your brain being affected, but your physiology, your body is affected tremendously as well. And they did a study of 98,000 people, and they followed them for over 14 years and found that those who did not sleep well had a double risk of death from heart disease than the people that they followed over the years that in general had good quality sleep and reported getting enough sleep. Unfortunately, the reality is that the evidence is showing that 100 years ago, we slept on average 2 hours longer than we do today. That has to do with having electricity and lights and technology and all of these things to occupy us in the evening, even after we're supposed to, or the sun has gone down, which our bodies were designed to, have day and night cycles, and we were supposed to go to sleep at night. But we're sleeping less than we used to. We are staying up too late, like I said, with the technology that we have. There's always something to do, and we're missing sometimes what research has proven to be the most regenerative hours of sleep, between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And what's happening is sometimes we are missing our body's signal that it is getting tired and it's time to wind down, because we're busy with our lives. And as we start to miss that signal, what will happen is you will have the second wind, that a lot of people call it. But it's meant to be that is a cycle that your body goes through. You are meant to be asleep when that rush of energy for healing and repair is supposed to hit. And unfortunately, it's making you feel more alert and awake, like, oh, I really am not tired. I could stay up and, get this done or watch this show. So, like I said, we underestimate the value, we underestimate the toll that a loss of sleep can take on our body. Studies done on people with one night of poor sleep or jet-lagged individuals, their changes in their body instantly. The next day, after one bad night of sleep, you will have increase in the hormone ghrelin, decrease in the hormone leptin. That will make you feel hungrier, be less satisfied with your food, and also crave junkier foods, believe it or not. The microbiome, the friendly bacteria in your body, are different when you're jet lagged. So in this study, they took jet lagged individuals, and they saw that the bacteria in their gut were more like those of someone with type 2 diabetes or an obese individual, even though these were healthy test subjects. Now, once they got their body back in rhythm, their microbiome shifted too. One missed night of sleep can make you as insulin resistant as someone with type 2 diabetes, even if you're not diabetic. And all of these things may make you feel anxious if you're not getting a good night's sleep. The point of this class is to give you some tips and tools to improve the quality of the sleep that you're getting. Because even if you know sleep is important and you want to get a good night's sleep, there's research where the evidence is showing that 60% of Americans report not sleeping well at least once or twice a week. So I want to share 6 things with you that are critical components of getting good, deep, regenerative sleep so that you can be your happiest, healthiest self. And that's what we want for you. As I often say, please do not mistake simplicity for a lack of value. So even though these things are very simple, they're critically important. And we often overlook simple things in favor of more complicated solutions. And that's like, if you had a recipe for baking a cake and it was just simple ingredients, eggs, flour, sugar, butter, and you were missing one of those very simple ingredients, what comes out of the oven may not resemble a cake at all, right? The simplicity can be misleading, but they're critical components. These are the ingredients, the basic ingredients that your body requires in order to get great sleep. If these things are already met, then we can go and look a little, get a little more complex, dig a little bit deeper. But if you are honest with yourself, if you are not meeting these 6 needs of your body with excellence, then this is where we start. Let's not go looking for complicated solutions. So ingredient number 1 is time. Ideally, we need to strive for 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, but everyone's body is different. We've got to tune into what our body needs, but we need to make sleep a priority and allow the time. You know, you might be the person who needs 9 hours of sleep, and even though you're getting 8, it might not be cutting it. So we've got to set a bedtime, work backwards. You know, what time do I need to get up in the morning, and set a bedtime, allow the space, and see what happens. See if you can listen to your body and find what that right number of hours is for you. But you have to have the space and time in your life for that to happen. Ingredient number 2 is we need exposure to light, and we need the proper amount of darkness. So like I mentioned before, the human body was designed to have day-night cycles, light-dark cycles. So in the nighttime, you have to have darkness to produce the melatonin in order to get a good night's sleep. You've probably heard of melatonin. It's a supplement that you can purchase. But why purchase it? Your body makes it, and it just needs to be exposed to light during the day, and then darkness in the evening, and enough time before bedtime. The lights need to start going down like it happens in nature. We just happen to defy the rules of nature. You know, we work indoors, so we may not see the sun all day. We may not have enough bright light coming into the eye to stimulate the pituitary gland so that your body will then later in the day produce melatonin. So ideally, take a little break, make sure you get some sunlight into the eyes. So if you have very little time and you work inside, when you walk out to your car, you know, don't pop on the shades. Make sure you're getting light through the day. Earlier the better. The more the better. And then as the evening progresses, we need to start lowering the lights. So typically, as soon as we're finished with dinner, I kind of go around and lower all the lights in the house. And then we need to have it get darker. And one of the sources of light that inhibits our production of melatonin are the screens that we are watching. So dimming the light on your devices is important. You could put a blue light filter. You can use blue light blocking glasses. There's apps and things like that for lowering the light, and the blue light especially is very stimulating on your devices. But ideally, we would turn everything off 30 minutes before bed. That really gives your body enough time to wind down, produce the melatonin to sufficient levels to get a good night's sleep. So there are things like books that we can use that are not projecting light like a TV or a tablet would be. Or you can kind of just create a little bit of a bedtime routine, maybe do a little stretching, leisurely brushing, flossing, and washing your face, all of that, 30 minutes before bed. Sometimes people are, bringing the device to bed, or there's a TV in the bed, and then, that light is coming at us until we switch it off, close our eyes, and you think that your body's going to be able to go right to sleep, and it's just not going to be the best sleep that you can get. Third ingredient that we need is exercise. Our bodies are designed to move, and exercise gives us hormonal and metabolic benefits that money just can't buy. It does not have to be big formal workouts. A few minutes of intentional movement a day can help improve the quality of the sleep that you get and make it deeper and more regenerative. The earlier in the day is usually better for improving the quality of your sleep later in the day. And like I said, just a couple of minutes. You can do just some squats, go for a walk, 7-minute workout, or you can do something more in depth. But try to fit some intentional movement into your day early, every day. Ingredient number 4 is less stress. And wouldn't that be nice if we could just wave the stress erasing magic wand and suddenly have less stress? But when we are trying to wind down and get a good night's sleep, if our sympathetic nerve system is activated and we're just in that chronic fight or flight mode, like I talk about in the stress solutions classes, then it's going to be really hard to get good deep sleep. You may think that you may be setting the time aside and doing everything right, and yet you're still not getting the rest that you need because you're in that sympathetic overwhelm. So you can go back and watch some of the stress classes that we've taught, but number one is getting adjusted regularly. Adjustments stimulate your parasympathetic nerve system and settle that fight or flight response down. And my number two favorite is meditation. And I used to use the app Headspace. Now I've been using Down Dog, but really great guided meditation, or you could just set a timer literally and focus on your breath and just take minutes a day to relax. But the research is there that just a few minutes of meditation within a short amount of time, a couple of weeks, changes the way the brain is wired, and can really make a difference. So ingredient number 5 is nutrition. Obviously, the better you eat, the better your health is going to be, the better your sleep will be too. Getting enough magnesium in your diet is really important for quality sleep. Some people find that taking a magnesium supplement with dinner or after dinner can be helpful in relaxing them. Maybe an Epsom salt bath, getting magnesium into your body as a relaxant can be helpful. What you eat and when you eat can affect your sleep. So if you are eating too close to bedtime, then what can happen is as you eat, your blood sugar goes up, and then your body digests the food, and then your blood sugar naturally comes down. And as the blood sugar drops, that could wake you up out of deep sleep. You may not wake up fully, but it'll take you out of the deeper, more regenerative depths of sleep. So trying to have your last meal or snack a couple of hours before bedtime is ideal. If you're hungry at night, I'm not telling you, go to bed hungry, but something that is higher in fat or protein will not spike and drop your blood sugar as much as something that is higher in carbohydrates or sugar, like a piece of candy would certainly get your blood sugar up and then drop it pretty quickly. So last thing is the things that would disrupt your sleep. Primarily alcohol and caffeine. So with alcohol, technically speaking, your last call should be 3 hours before bedtime. Women will process alcohol more quickly, and just like the blood sugar, as your body finishes processing the alcohol, it can take you out of the deeper phases of sleep. So you want to give your body time to do that. If you're going to have a glass of wine with dinner or something, make that a few hours before bed. And with caffeine, sometimes we have, the half-life of caffeine is a lot longer than you may realize. So it can still be affecting you in the evening if you've had some in the afternoon, even though its effect might not be as noticeable as it was when you first had your afternoon latte. But we should allow 4 to 6 hours ideally from your last caffeinated beverage to whatever you figured out to be your bedtime. So take a minute and figure out, what time do I need to wake up? How many hours of sleep can I allow myself? When should I have, my cutoff point for no more caffeine in the day? So some of these are changes that you can literally make tonight. Others are changes that will take time and you need to build new habits. But they're all fundamental, basic building blocks for getting a good night's sleep. And when you get good rest, your body is going to be happier, healthier, your brain is going to function better, you'll be expressing your best potential, and that is definitely what we want for you here. Now, if you're still struggling and you're like, no, I am good on all these things, I have taken care of this, I've made sure that there's no light sneaking into my bedroom, I've got blackout shades, I'm getting out in the light in the day, I've got it all. If you're still struggling, there's a great book called Sleep Smarter by Sean Stevenson that I highly recommend. And he covers these topics in depth, and then there's even more to explore. But for most people, if we really truly address these 6 things, you're going to get a good night's sleep. So if you would like a reference sheet for the things that I shared with you tonight, just call, text, or email us and ask for the sleep handout, and so the notes will be there for you. And let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon.